What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, everybody, everybody, yo. What's up, everybody? Thank y'all. This is the 98th episode. I'm so happy. One more show into the 100th episode of the show. It's been a
Wow.
year in February is the anniversary of the show.
Mm.
And I'm happy. Happy we lasted this long. So let's get on with the show. Okay, okay, everybody. Yo, thank you. This is the In Your Face show. And I'm here
Hello,
with my
everybody.
main man. Matter of fact, I'm here with my co host, Nikki Bell.
Nikiva, how you guys doing?
I gotta say it like that.
How y'all
Know it.
doing? How y'all doing?
How y'all
Yeah.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
doing? How y'all doing? And I'm here with my main man,
Mm.
the gangster of
This is true.
motherfucking comedy,
Yes, sir. This is true.
Mr. Capone Lee. What's up, bro?
How y'all doing? I'm great, man. What's going on?
I
He's
mean,
eating
why don't
right
you just
now.
tell us all what you eating? Yeah, look good.
Yeah,
Sound
what you
good
I'm
eating?
too.
almost finished. I'm sorry. I'm usually very professional, but um, I was hungry, man. I've been working on, I got a lot of big shows coming up this weekend, so I'm just trying to get my stuff together before I did that. So I didn't even had a chance to eat. Plus, I'm fasting a little bit as well. So trying to be
Hmm.
sexy by
Hmm.
next year so I can get the same swag as you.
Alright, we good. I get that, you know what I'm saying? But nah. Alright, let me get that laugh out. But yo, man, where did you, man, get the name Capone?
Streets. I was really a gangster.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, I was the what they call the black Capone when it came down to the street business. Uh, Pretty much didn't take no shit. But I converted that into the business that I'm in now. And, they say if you can make it in the street business, you can make it anywhere. And I say that with integrity for the simple fact that most people die or get life in jail. And so when I say I was successful at it, I'm successful because I came out of it alive and not in jail for the rest of my life. And, you know, it actually made me the man that I am today.
Awesome. Awesome, man. So how did the transition from the streets onto the business, how was that? Was it a rough transition or was it a easy transition?
It was very rough. And why was it rough? Because of the people. You know, we have taught for some reason that pleasing people is the only way that you can be successful. So you can imagine from being a street thug to coming into the entertainment world as a comedian. That was a joke within itself. And, people didn't take me serious. I said I wanted to, I want to try entertainment. I was in the music business when I was in high school, but that made me bitter, which made me turn into the streets. Um, so turning, you have the people who know your past, who try to test you. You have the people who, relationships that you're in where, the chicks can't see you other than what you did in the streets. And that was very hard for me, especially coming from a place where I felt was, in the streets, there's a code, or there was a code back in the days. Now, it there's no code, there's no loyalty. It is what it is, and times have definitely changed. But at the time of making that transition, uh, it was very hard to to try to fit into a world that I really didn't think I was supposed to be
Mm, mm.
So do you bring some of your experiences onto like the comedy stage as well, or how do you make some of that funny then? You know, if you're talking of how do you make it funny?
tragedy is funny within itself. And so my stories, which makes me unique, um, you get the stories from the street guy, but just like 50 did, he turned it into a rap. I turned my stories into, bringing on stage of what I've been through and then what I've seen others people go through. But my shows is not all about the street. I excelled way past that. You know,
Right.
we're talking 29, 30 years now of in this business. So the success comes with just being a person who believed in itself. No matter what I was doing, I believed in myself. But people don't know the story. My mother actually made me make her a promise that I would never do nothing illegal again, and give the entertainment world another shot. And she died at the age of 47, so I never looked back.
Mm.
Mm. So going into jail for 9 months, was what was it like coming out of jail and going right into the business side? What inspired you to do all of this? The comedy
Mhm.
scene.
Well, what I did was 9 months, a year, almost a year. I got
Okay,
sentenced.
okay,
I got sentenced to doing almost 8. Um,
okay.
but lawyers and money change certain things. And what was the rest of the question?
And what was like, how did you what inspired you to come into the comic scene? Comic scene, yeah.
Well, I was always a good dude that snapped on people,
Okay.
and
Ah,
so I had a very witty mouth and an attitude that went with it at the time. And so one guy I snapped on who was a comedy show producer named Rob Bradley. And, he was a very quiet dude, very serious, very stern. And when I was snapping on him, Rob been around so many comedians, he didn't find nobody funny. And he said, well, if you think you're that funny, bring it to the stage. And I went but I studied comedy before I hit the stage. One thing about me is I'm never going to make an ass of myself just going to think I know what I'm doing. I actually read about what it took to make a prepared joke and put my life into the joke. And so that's how it started. And
oh
actually,
man.
my first show I sold out because so many people wanted to see me fail. I grew up in the project, so everybody from the projects came to the show, and a lot of them weren't there to support me. They was there to actually see me fail. But that's where you learn that tickets are tickets, and whoever's in the seats, it is what it is.
Yeah. So how was that first experience then? So just walk us through you walking up on stage and feeling like you got this. Do you remember the first thing you actually said
Uh, I put a
or
routine
whoever you
together.
cracked on with us?
I put a routine together where I had dancers and everything come out with me. And
Wow.
the reason I did that is I always wanted to be different. Even growing up as a kid,
Uh-oh.
even growing up,
Yeah, come back.
I'm back already.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right,
yeah, you back, you
they're
back, you
gonna
back.
call. So my mother always had my clothes custom made. So I always stood out, even as a young boy. And growing up, that's something that was hard to shake. So I always had to have the best of whatever. And the one thing of getting on the stage, automatically, I had to be different. Every comedian was just up there telling jokes. I was I was very flashy with suits and stuff. But no matter what way I went, I always had to deal with bullshit. You know, I wore suits, expensive suits. So coming into comedy automatically, oh, he's trying to be like Steve Harvey. Um, being a street dude, not too many people liked me. So it was hard to adjust at first to, you know, there's a lot of haters in the entertainment field, a lot. And, you know, it is very competitive. And I think that the difference between me is I felt like I wasn't in a competition with anybody. And that's why when I got into the situation of being able to make a name for myself, I made a vow that I would look out for young guys or young, hungry guys like I was, because nobody looked out for me. And so that's how I pretty much became famous, because comedians didn't really look out for each other. It was a whoever, whatever, that type of situation.
Right.
Oh man. So what was the scene, you know what I'm saying? Like what was the year of your first show? The year.
Um, 2002.
Man,
So
that was
who
the
are do you remember
yeah.
some of the young guys who may be still in the game now that you were mostly traveling and doing stage shows with, or
uh, Mike Epps,
Mike
Tracy,
Ebbs?
Tracy Morgan. Uh, I when I became the Apollo crowd, before I became the host, I was the crowd warmer for Steve Harvey, the crowd warmer for Monique, and I was already doing amateur night. But see, people
Right.
don't know that amateur night is totally different from Showtime at the Apollo. The televised one was Showtime at the Apollo. So I would be doing the crowd warming for them while they came out and did the show. And I'll never forget the love that I was getting as a crowd warmer was ridiculous. And I remember Steve, and he even admitted to this, that he stopped them from letting me to come out so he can build the love from
Right.
the crowd the way that I was doing it. So yeah, we had a little issue about that years later.
Oh wow. Oh wow, Steve was a big hater. Damn. Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was just, you know, he was a star. So he was, I wouldn't say he was a hater, but to see a young guy coming up doing his thing, you know, that, you know, he just was protecting what he had to do. Because in this business, man, you can be up there and fall flat. You got to protect it. But my thing is, whatever, I always believe whatever's meant for you is meant for you.
Right.
Right. And I got a question. Have you
Oh,
ever been heckled?
they tried.
They tried. What
Yeah.
happened?
Um, like I said, I was very witty. That's how I became pretty much famous. Uh, in the early ages, my mouth was like a machine gun, and I was very fast with comebacks. So you know, guys tried, and then the reputation got real big, real fast. Don't say that when that nigga on stage. I'm telling you. And you know, people would bring people. People would
Wow.
bring people. Nigga, you think you funny? All right, wait till homeboy come up. And I hosted this room in the Bronx called Bronx BBQs. And that's where all the hustlers, all the hecklers, and everybody came out. But it was so much love and respect in there for me. It took me to that next level fast.
Damn. Man, that's why I said, man, like shit, I couldn't do it. I'd be done snapped on somebody, beat the hell out of somebody. Shit. I'd have
Well,
tried to
I
kill
have a
somebody for that
question.
motherfucker.
I have a question. So, just the trajectory that comedy has been in the past few years with sensitivities, has that affected you and your comedy in any sort of way, or you
No,
still get out there and don't think about, you know?
no, I don't think about
Yeah.
that. I don't think that I'm, you know, I don't put myself into the mainstream of thinking that I'm big. I know I'm well known. Um, I my comedy has never been intentional to hurt people. I say what I say. It's funny. People laugh. I talk about gays. I talk about everybody that people would say would what's what they call it, cancel you.
Oh yeah.
Mm, You know, people are going to come to see who they love, and that's just the bottom line. You know, I don't go up there looking to hurt nobody's feelings and things of that nature. But if I see something, I'm gonna say something about it. You know, and I've been that way pretty much all my career. Like even with the lesbians or the whole alphabet crew, whatever you want to say about it, it gets more sensitive all the time. And now
Right.
they
Yeah.
picking and choose. It's amazing how you can talk about anybody and they get offended, but everybody laughs when black people talk about black people.
Right.
Right. Right.
Amazing to me how sensitive everybody is. Even right now, what we're going through in Florida, where the governor don't want you to teach black history. They don't want because they know how powerful we are. We just don't know how powerful we are. We don't know.
Mhm.
And we have a clue, but
Wow.
we're scared to show it.
They don't want you teaching Black history. Like,
Nah, in Florida, they trying to make that a law right now. It's going through it, and they're going crazy about it.
Right.
Lord have mercy.
I don't know why you're so shocked. They've been erasing our history for the longest.
Oh,
Any
I ain't
any
shocked.
other race that you talk about, any other race that you bring up, they have each other to fall back on. They support. Why do you think the gay people are so strong? Because they gay? No, they came together. They came together and they believed in what they believed in, and they fought for what they believe in. There's black gay people that will fight for gay more than they will fight for blacks, and that's
Mhm.
got to tell you something, man. And no matter what we do in life, they're going to try to dismantle it. Who's our black leaders now? Where are they? Everybody's so scared of everything that come to us. But the real thing is that they scared of us. If we ever came together and decided that we were tired of this bullshit treatment that we get in life, we would be unstoppable. But they know how to separate us. They know how. I mean, Willie Lynch wrote it in his piece where he said, if you keep the young and the old separated, hating each other, they can never climb. You don't have to no longer enslave them, for they will enslave themselves. And that's what we're doing, killing each other. There's certain places right now where you can walk around with a gun 18 years old. You don't even know how to write, but you got a gun carrying it freely. And the first person to say something to you, you shoot him, and you probably can get away with it with all of the different laws that they have now. You have to be very, very conscious of what's going on. And unfortunately, when you are conscious, they silence you.
Mm, true that. Let's try to silence the shit out you. But I'm going with the question. Go with the question.
Okay.
I ain't got the question
All right.
Oh well.
out.
Okay, so let's talk about films. I've been in a little bit of films here and there throughout my career here. So have you been in films? Just gonna change it up a little bit, and how and how is that experience, and what do you look forward into, any new projects?
um, I've been in several films. The first movie that I was in was when I was in high school. It was called Beach Street. Um,
Oh,
Okay.
that one.
yeah.
I remember
I
that.
didn't
I
have a
remember
I
that
didn't
one.
have a big role in it, but I got my goddamn SAG card from it. And then
Right.
later on in my career, I I did Rockefeller Films, which was probably the most popular.
Paper Soldiers.
Paper Soldiers, Death of a Dynasty, where I played Damon Dash. Uh, a couple other movies. I did a short film called Brother. Um, the acting, I love the act, but the self gratification from being a comedian is what really drives me, because I get to speak and I get to teach, and that's a great feeling.
Right.
Mm.
And you funny as hell, dog. I'm gonna tell you. You had me in tears one day.
Yeah.
Oh my god. The pussy is on the bed. I was dying. I was gone. I was gone. I was the most funniest person. I could put you up there. Okay, who is your Mount Rushmore of comedians?
Um, eh, I've been asked that question a lot. And back in the days, I used to have it say it quick. I can't say it now because I don't have any no more. I respect everybody who takes upon themselves to give this thing a challenge because it's not easy. You know, unfortunately, when we as Black people make it successfully, we start putting this rating game. Well, who's the best?
Hmm.
Who's the top five? And who's this? And I don't like to participate in that because there's different categories in people who reach different people in different ways. And I feel like, for every person that don't like me, there's probably one that does. I hope that explains that
True
I
that.
don't talk about who I feel is the best. I just feel like there's a lot of great people doing great things in this comedy business, and some of us need to keep excelling, including myself, because it's not a point that you reach, and I don't believe in the top. You can say who's the top.
Okay,
There is no such thing as top, because once you're at the top,
very understandable.
there's only one way to go, and that's down. And I'm never going down.
Ah, I like that confidence. Love that confidence, man.
Look at that
Shit,
smile.
got me there. I love that shit. You know what I mean? I'm not see.
Look
I know
at that smile.
got me wanting to get up in there. I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna do it.
I
Nah,
mean,
man. So
you just might get it, you might get a good applause.
nah, nah.
I'm just
See,
saying.
nah. I was not good for comedy. Not too funny. I'm funny, but I ain't funny yet like that. But nah, nah, because I have a, I have a question. A little teeny bitty one.
Right. You got
So,
anything?
I, so what was the toughest out of all the places? I'm gonna name three places: Def Comedy Jams crowd, the Apollo crowd, and what's the toughest crowd you ever did a show at?
Uh, that's a great question. I find no audience hard. I know how to adapt. That's one thing. What I did find is that at one point in my career, I thought that I was more popular than I really was. And I was on the Shack tour. We already showed the taping. Uh, I was getting standing ovations everywhere I went. And, I'm with some heavy hitters on this tour. And I'll never forget, we went to Memphis. And I decided that I wanted to be the Puff Daddy of comedy and wore a shiny suit. And I don't think a person owned a suit in Memphis when I was there at the time. So when I came on stage, they introduced me and the crowd went crazy, but they were laughing hysterically. So I'm feeling like, oh, it's about to be on now.
This is about to pop off.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so 10 minutes have passed and they still laughing hard and I haven't even said nothing yet. So now it's starting to register to me. These niggas is laughing at me. So I said it to the crowd. I said, what the hell y'all find so funny? And half of them yelled out. We talking about 3,000 people. Yo, damn suit, take that bullshit off. So I'm not gonna lie to you. That instantly, it shocked me for me. It hurt me. And even the guys backstage that was on the show with me, nobody said nothing. And so I'm thinking, I'm all that, got on this Mason Puff Daddy shiny ass suit. And then I went in. When I say I went in, probably harder than I ever went in before. Standing ovation, crowd went crazy. Now, after the show, me and Gary Owens is selling DVDs. And so the line for both of us was incredible. And out of, let's say, 100 people that bought CDs from me, 98 of them said, yo, dog, I ain't never heard of you, but you are probably the funniest nigga in the world. So that shocked me. what do you mean you never heard of me? He's like, yo, and I'm talking about Memphis is different. Everybody got gold teeth and these are the chicks and all that. So it was like, it was real strange to me, but it taught me something and it humbled me. It really humbled me. So I never go any place thinking that I'm that dude. I just go to do my job. And that's that.
Right. Yeah. So what was the hostel's crowd? I know there was some hostile crowds out
Nah,
there.
I never experienced that. I've seen people get eat up, but I never experienced it.
Have you ever experienced a
I
crowd or went to an event and just the audience just didn't get your show or your jokes at all?
I think I got pissed off at one time when I went to Amsterdam, and he'll probably see this show. There was a promoter. His name was Gilio. He's still a promoter out there. And Gilio told me, I know you curse, but these crowds, they don't like the cursing and that. And so I was like, well, what did you bring me here for? You know my comedy. You know how I am.
Right.
And pretty much I was like, well, I'm gonna go out there and do what I do and fuck Julio. That's what I kind of said. And the crowd went crazy for me. So I don't know what the avenue was that he was trying to put me in, but I feel the crowd. When I feel the crowd, I know which way to go. I don't have to curse. It's not something that I have to do because I've been at the Apollo and that's a family show. So for somebody to say, well, he's too vulgar or he got a nasty mouth, I curse because it offends people. And if you allow me to offend you by my words, I'm going to abuse you because cursing is nothing but words. And if you goddamn make me feel like that's all you can see in me, then I'm gonna take you to the farthest level that you can ever go to make you see the worst in me, which is really not a bad situation when you think about it because I do nothing but curse funny.
right. Very, very funny.
Yeah.
Hmm. But now, like, you know, like, how many times, like, do you feel like you've made it to the highest point of the career of your career, or do you feel like you've still got a lot to work, a lot to do?
She should answer that question because she was listening. I just told you, there's no top for me.
Yeah, yeah. I'm the one
There's
that don't
no
listen a
time.
lot. You know what I'm saying?
There's
Yeah,
no
me. I
top.
just like to. Yeah.
You think I'm
He
any
likes to
different?
talk. I told you he could do
I
his
know you're
own
gonna say something
stand-up
different.
comedy. I'm just saying. Well, let me ask you about writing
Whatever.
style. Let me ask you about your writing style. So some people write their own stuff and some don't, but you write your own material. What inspires you, and what is actually your style of writing? Do
Well,
you need your own space, or do you need to go be at a beach or anywhere? Tell us about that process.
all right. So mentally, it's a mental thing for me. And the real sad part about it is there's a lot of comedians that think a lot. And I remember somebody said I stole jokes, which was probably one of the things that almost brought me back to being a street dude. Because I talk about a lot of things that I see and experience. And there are other comedians who might talk about it just as well. So if the person says a joke before you, like I've had comedians steal from me, like been there and I've had to check them or whatever the situation is. And it didn't turn to violence, but when I bring it up, I got the proof. And so I don't want to mention no names or bring it out now because it probably would get me angry. But as far as writing, I write with clothing. So what I want you to understand about that is when you see me, if you ever see me on stage with a jogging suit or something like that, that means I'm working out. I'm working out new material. But once I put on my clothes and my suits and all of that, there's no whole bars then. I already done went to the gym, did what I had to do. So my mental is the way I dress is the mode that I'm in for that show. So if a show is not
Mm.
too serious, then I'm putting on a sweatsuit and I'm trying out new stuff. I'm sparring, however you want to say it. So that's what I do.
Mm.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
know,
usually people need like, some people have really weird, things that they
Yeah.
have to do to try and get into the mood. Is there anyone who inspires you? I know you mentioned your mom, but is there anyone else who is really like your go-to as far as like I know if I call this person, you know,
Nah,
they'll get it, the juices flowing. Nope.
nah. I got a young crew that travels with me, that are young comedians that I started their careers, and they call Team Capone. So they're young, but they're grown men, and they're young in the business. But they remind me so much of me because they're hungry. When I say they're hungry, they're hungry. And when you got a bunch of hungry dudes around you, and you're the last one to go on, you got to stay just as hungry. I never sit back and be like, I'm the veteran. I know I'm gonna be funny. No, I watch these guys. I watch them change. I watch them grow. And so I'm not gonna sit in the same spot. I'm gonna have them around me, and that keeps me on my toes because they're younger. The crowds are getting younger now. My fans, they don't even really come to shows like they used to. So I got to keep building and rebuilding, and you have to be along with the times. A lot of older comedians don't like the internet guys, but it's always something that brings on anger when you feel that you're not where you're supposed to be. So when I was coming up, Def Jam was hitting. And so the older comedians back then, y'all niggas wouldn't be shit if it wasn't for Def Jam. Because they didn't have Def Jam when they was coming up. So they
Right,
feel
right.
like they struggled more. So now the comedians that are my age or been doing it as long as me, they look at the internet, people how the other guys used to look at us. So these niggas ain't funny. If it wasn't for the internet, they wouldn't even be famous. So they don't even have jokes. I don't look at that. I look at it all as a work process. Instead of
Mhm.
hating on them, I talked to a couple of them and I wanted to learn, this internet thing.
Right, right.
Exactly. Instead of
right,
hating, learn from them.
right.
Right.
Because
Right,
that
because they're,
elevates your
cause
game. That,
they're right, because they're able to monetize now off the internet. It's
Exactly.
not right. So, yeah, I can see that because I was kind of leading to my next question. What is the difference that you see between those who actually are out there versus in? I guess they're called influencers now. Some make a few comedy skits and then they become comedian.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
Like I said, it's work any way you put it. If you could sit in front of that camera, it might be a little easier than
Right.
what we were doing. But I've always been the type of person to watch and learn. I'm never too old to learn. And if I would have listened to some of the guys, I probably would have been angry too. But I never been in a position where I'm comfortable. In order to become comfortable, you have to first become uncomfortable. And that is what a lot of people don't know. When you get into a comfortable mode, you try to stay there. Not me. I love to be uncomfortable. It brings something different out of you all the time.
Right.
all right. So with every show that you do, right?
Hmm.
With every show that you do you bring different material or do you like keep the same material?
Well, I got classic jokes, and I do bring different, but I can do 4 hours I got 4 hours solid of material, and depending on the crowd, some people I might try a whole new set, and people will be mad at me. Man, why you ain't do the Chinese lady? Why you ain't do this and do that?
Right.
So it's the difference between me is I try to write classics.
Right,
You
right.
get famous for, like you just said, man. People do that to me all the time. Man, I came here, I paid my money to see the Chinese lady, or
Chinese lady.
yeah, exactly. And I personally get tired of doing it, but I try to elevate it in different things because there's just little things that you can tap on it that makes it even more funny. You know,
Right.
it could be something simple like I used to say that when she talked about having sex, it hurt her, and then I actually took it to the next level where I said, "Oh, Chinese women are scared of black men. Once you put it on them, you know, it's hard to get them again. So when you calling them, back when I first started, I was oh, Black and Dick and Killy, and then, but now I say, you know, you call her name and now she peeking. You know what it's like to have a woman peeking at you? No, 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 come out, no, go to bed. No sleeping now. No, I'm not sleeping now. Be like, bring your ass to bed, Ringly. No, no bed. I sleep on the couch. You know, so.
Okay.
Oh
While
my
he
god, I
over
got
there needing his asthma pump,
I
my next
got
question is,
cramp.
oh man, what is your interpretation of
Oh
the
my
young female comedy comedians now that you see coming up? Since you work with a lot of men, are they as hungry as these men? And where do you see it in the next couple of years?
Well, my experience with the
You
older,
okay?
the older, the older females, like, you know, I love some more. I love Barbara Carlisle. Um, there's so many that I love. The younger comedians, female wise, it almost seems like they all talk about the same thing.
Mm.
You know, and there's a lot of, you might have one, like there's one in Baltimore. Her name is Maria Sanchez, and I find this chick to be so clever. You
Mhm.
know, she talks about being gay. She talks about, you know, she don't know if she's gay. It's just so much that comes from her that I really really like about her. And then there used to be a young lady on my team named Tony Bird. She's a dyke comedian. She's funny as hell, but she allows the feminine or female side of her should not be in the business because she's very sensitive. You can't be a powerhouse and then when somebody says something to you, you turn very sensitive. You know, you're in your own worst way. But as a comedian, I think she is funny as hell. And I don't find many funny, to be honest with
Mm. Yeah.
Oh, you okay?
Shit.
He's
Shit.
still he's still
Shit.
recovering.
Shit.
you.
I'm still recovering. Go ahead. Shit. I'm good. I'm good. I'm
Oh,
good.
man. It, oh,
I'm good. Man. I got a cramp. I got a cramp. Oh my god.
okay.
But
So
now
let's
no.
okay. What do you want to talk about your
Go ahead. Go
upcoming
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
projects?
ahead. Go ahead.
Let's talk about your upcoming projects. And you said you have shows this weekend. Where will you be this weekend?
I'm going to be in Atlanta at the Atlanta Comedy Theater. We're supposed to do a show tomorrow, but something we changed it. I'll be there Friday doing 2 shows, Saturday doing 2 shows, and one Sunday in Atlanta Comedy Theater. Very, very nice venue. It's going to be good.
Where's
Have
your?
you ever been in some of the?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Damn. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm letting you recover. I don't know. I'm just
Man,
you
go ahead. Go
okay?
ahead. I'm still recovering over here. I'm trying to answer the question, but I'm
So,
still
do
got the
you
cramp,
have
man.
a
Go ahead.
favorite place to perform? I mean, where it's just is there a favorite city or state? I know maybe it's your hometown, but outside of home. Oh, okay,
Actually,
maybe
it's
not.
not.
I'm just it's outside. Where
Um,
wherever you want to,
I
or
would
it could be
say
Bahamas or somewhere.
um, my place that I go to all the time that I feel the most love is actually Baltimore and
Mhm.
Philly. When I go to Philly or Baltimore, is just like the love is over the top. Um, my city, I can't honestly say I don't feel as much love as I should have because I carry New York on my back. Wherever I go, I'm New York, period. But when it comes down to shows, it's always a last minute situation. And I feel that I'm beyond that. You know what you're going to get. Not to say that I don't sell out, but I don't think that I should be having to beg people to still get these tickets. You know, it's like some brothers go and perform in their town and they sell out before it's even announced because the people in that town are so proud. New York is so big with so many of us. The bad part is that they got choices. They got so many choices. So I'm making sure that I'm not one of those choices. And that's just, you know,
See
that's
that?
it.
So you just blowing all crazy, all out crazy out there, ain't you?
Well,
Shit.
I
I
put the
mean,
work.
hey, yeah, you damn right.
Yes.
But shit. I mean, okay. I got a question. Got a question. So, have any of the comedians today like ever got on stage or said something backstage that ever made you mad,
Oh,
that
hell.
ever pissed you off?
Yeah. See the cattiness of comedians is there's a lot of young. I wouldn't even say young. This guy wasn't young, and I don't want to mention his name because he doesn't deserve that type of light. But there was a young lady, and this has happened not only with comedians. Men get jealous when their women come to these shows, and so I found out a lot of stuff later on. But there was a comedian who a girl that he was messing with was coming to the show to see me because I get big shows, and he got mad. Told me, "You supporting that nigga and all of this, and he's this and he's that." He even got to the point where he said, "Well, I heard he don't take care of his kids. You can say anything you want to say about me, but a father being a terrible father should never come out your mouth." And so, especially even my kids that grown, they might even have something negative to say about me, but not another brother can never say that. And he said that. And I caught him backstage. And it took everything for me not to lynch his ass. But I will say this, he will never talk about me again. I just don't like if you feel that way, be a man. Say what you got to say. And either we can talk it out or we can handle it other different ways. But I'm too old to be fighting now. So my thing is, I don't put myself in a position to talk about anybody, and I don't want them talking about me, especially in a negative light like that, because you're trying to impress this young lady. I had a
Right.
woman that told me that she had to break up with a dude because he beat up because she was laughing so hard at a show. You gotta be messing with this nigga. And I nothing.
No, it's not that serious.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Oh, wow.
Damn.
it can be bad, and then the bad part is that I found out that he was still coming to the shows with his new woman. But
Oh.
all along, this nigga was hating on me and beating her up and all that. Didn't want her to come to none of the shows.
Wow.
Got a new woman and talking to me like we're good friends, not knowing that I found out what the truth was about it.
Damn. He was like, "You funny nigga." What? Man, shut the fuck up. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
Damn.
yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
That's
crazy.
wild as fuck.
yeah.
So I have a question, man. Like, was there ever a point in time where you just was like, fuck it, let me just go on stage, just go any other kind of any other way, anyway? Or do you have to have a set of
No,
material and clothing to go on stage?
no, no. The one thing I love is I know how hard I work. You don't have to know, but I know how hard I work. I know what I've been through, and
Right.
I know the tears as a man that I cried with just trying to restrain myself from the pettiness. And so to get appreciation from true people in the crowd, like we didn't know he was coming by. He just came by to show love, and the crowd is just going crazy. That's something that you can't pay for.
Right.
Right.
It's a great feeling to have that kind of real love and just appreciate it for
Right.
work.
So I
Let's
I
go to the
I haven't been
question.
paying attention to.
Well, let's go
I
to
haven't
the
been going.
question.
I'm trying to go to the questions. I'm trying. Like,
You
hold
didn't
on.
do it fast enough.
I'm trying. I'm
Trying to do his
trying.
sexy swag.
I've
Wow, what's
read
your
that you
answer?
said he has a question. Well, damn, woman, can I get to the question? God damn it, shit. All right, read that you said. I have a question. What advice would you give to somebody that's starting out in comedy?
The
Oh,
best
that's Red. Hey, Red.
the best
Red the
advice
truth.
that I can give you is get on stage. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to the next comedian. Listen to you, because nobody knows what you feel like when you got up there. Whether you did bad or you did good, I can't tell you how it feels. So you will never know until you take the chance to get on stage.
That was smooth.
That's it. That's it.
That's
Some of the
it.
best
Smooth as a
comedians
motherfucker.
got the worst advice. You know,
Mm.
I told y'all from the beginning, me being the street dude, chicks, yeah, you need to quit that shit. Don't try that. When did you start being funny? All of that. And so
Mm.
So as you're learning the
Look,
business part of everything, did you have a mentor, someone that was already in the game and someone older than you, of course, like an older mentor that was already doing his thing and they said, uh, let me show you some things just
no.
in case.
One. Well, I've had a lot of guys trying to give me advice, and what I mean by that is, you should, joke wise, you should do this, you should do that. I think the best advice that I've ever got was from a brother named Jimmy Mack, and he's the guy who died in the car accident that was with Tracy Morgan. What
Mm,
he said to me when I came home from prison, I was still in prison mode.
mm.
I was very, I had the long curly hair, I looked Dominican or whatever. I was very big.
You was
I,
high poppy in it, huh?
yeah, I was very in shape. And so when I walked on stage, but I had the jail mentality. I lost my woman. You do all that. So when I got on stage, it was like, man, fuck bitches and all that, and going crazy. And so he pulled me to the side, and he said to me, he said, "Man, you killing yourself." I'm saying because of my aggressive attitude, and people are laughing, looking at him like, "What are you talking about, nigga? They love me." And he said, "Nah, bro, you killing yourself up there." And I said, "Well, he was laughing." Me being a sarcastic dude at the time, I said they were laughing. He said, "Yeah, you're funny, but you don't understand how much you're killing yourself." And I said, "So what should I do?" He said, "Well, first of all, you should listen before you open your mouth." And so when I came, I never forget, it was at the Uptown Comedy Club. I listened. And when I walked on the stage, I heard, "Oh, ooh, oh my God." The minute I opened up my mouth, I was talking about bitch this and bitch that, killing the crowd. They
Mm,
liked me because I was raw, but they really didn't like me because I was disrespecting women so much. So before I opened my mouth, I was almost seen as this sex symbol, this god, this nice looking man, dressed real well. And I was killing myself because the people who were coming to show me love, I was blocking them. Fuck out of here. This is, just being arrogant. So if you really paid attention to my comedy, I started teaching men how to treat women, talking about bubble baths and all of that, bringing that into my comedy thing, because the more women would come up to me, and it wasn't about sleeping or having sex with them, because I learned a lot from Eddie Levert, where he said, be careful when you take a picture with a woman. A picture will tell a million stories. So I bring them into groups because I wanted to have such a clean reputation, but not lose who I was. I
right.
had a bad reputation. I was
mm.
in the streets. I did all of the shit. But for me to become who I became, one had to keep it real, but I had to listen to the people who was actually paying. Nobody pays to see you insult them or call a woman bitch. That's not how it goes. And so once I started listening, that's when I started blowing up.
Hmm. That is that's damn.
Mr. Potty Mouth got him over there thinking now.
You know what? Fuck you. I'm
He
tired of
like,
your damn shit.
uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I'm thinking over here. Don't worry about me. All I'm doing. I'm sitting there doing my thing. You
You
do
gonna
you.
be all right. You gonna be
Anyway,
all
hey, Mr.
right.
Potty Mouth. Anyway, I'm just saying.
You need to go get you some of that
Whatever.
this gum. You know that gum? You know that gum? You got a potty mouth, you need to clean it up. You gotta
Wow.
pop that gum in your mouth.
BDB, shut up.
Ah,
Anyway,
baby.
BDB, nah. What I'm saying is, you know what I'm saying? Because like I think you're right, man. Because how you feel about how you carry yourself is what the crowd and the people that's buying your product will feel. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And
Right.
as a businessman, you have to carry confidence, and you have to carry like you have to know what the fuck you're talking about. You
That's
know, you
it.
have to and you have to smile while you're throwing it. Because
Not
if you
only
selling
that,
stuff, say yeah, go ahead.
not only
Because I
that,
want to learn too.
you have to realize there's different types of fan bases. You got guys who respect you, but you got guys who want to be in your shoes. So just
Right.
because somebody want to be in your shoes, you have to take in accountability. Why? Why would this dude want to be in my shoes? Because you're somewhat of a success to him. And some people who are not successful would like to know that remedy. That's number one. Then you got women who would love to bring their man to the show because he's bound to learn something because maybe he's missing something. Or you got women who are fantasizing to have sex with you or fuck you, if I may say that in the most respectable way. But you have to realize that once you fulfill a woman's fantasy of having sex with her, you have lost her. A woman who feels that whether you were good in bed or whether you were terrible in bed, you killed the fantasy. And what you have to realize is that when you become a person in the public eye, even though can be reached, you should not always be touched. And I mean
Mm.
that in the most respectable way. There might be thousands of women that might want to sleep with you. You don't have to sleep with them. And as long as you don't sleep with them, they'll keep coming back to fulfill that fantasy of just thinking that there's a possibility. And a lot of brothers don't understand that.
I got to piggyback off of that. I got a question on that.
Oh,
Shit.
he coming through with that 70s
I got a
pimp
question
game.
on that. I got a question on that one, shit.
All right.
Cause you know what I'm saying? Cause it's magnificent. Well, no, you know what I'm saying? Tell us, the man. You know what I'm saying? How to, how to just, make a woman smile. How to treat her right.
That's what you want to know? You asking that question?
I'm asking that question because shit, I'm still learning about women as
Well,
well.
so this
Yeah, I
is
want to
a
learn too.
he's a comedian, right? So just having a sense of humor, right, kind of already just draws
It
in,
draws attraction.
yeah, it
Right,
already draws women come into that. So you should just keep smiling over there. They
right.
got you.
So the thing is that uh,
Funny, funny.
it's the same thing as a man. Men ask questions like, how many men you slept with. Women don't really ask those questions. They don't care. Men care because what we need fed is our egos. And if a woman would say you're the best, your ego would be high. But if a woman say, you good, but Sean used to kill this, your ego shattered. Now you don't know how to act. You don't know how to be the man that you normally would be. So you start trying to become somebody else. You start even asking questions that you don't really ask. Well, why was Sean the best? And you find yourself, well, did he have a bigger, and that's not something that you really want to know, but your ego is talking. And once you let your
I be like,
ego
I be
get
like,
the best of you, bro, you lost you. And that's the whole thing, is
Right,
that
right.
you have to learn that people got past, people got a future. And if you want to be a part of that person's future, be yourself. That's where you lose at when you try to be somebody else. Look how many women out here right now that got their asses done. Look how many women out here right now that got the same weave with the same baby hair. Who is fucking attracted to that at this point? You look like you're replaceable. It's 50 of y'all that's gonna pass this block. A man just wants to fall in love with a woman. I can't even see her face that close, but I hope you don't have your eyebrows that's across the eyelashes across the street. For what? I never heard a man say, did you see her eyebrows though? Or her eyelashes? She's killing them with them eyelashes.
Oh shit!
When did they get an email to say, all right, this is what we all gonna do this year?
Oh, I can't even answer that. I just think it's a youth thing, you know. So let's get back to the projects you have coming up this weekend. I know. I'm good.
Oh my god! Because I see that shit every day.
Is that a weave? Is that a weave? Huh? Oh man! Wait, are we live or y'all taping this for later?
We live.
Oh,
we live.
What'd you say? I can't hear you.
Oh, okay. So that is
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't mind. I like doing things different, you know. I don't mind.
But not today.
I have pretty hair. I just don't like to comb it. So
I
this
hear
is
that all
easy.
the time. I have pretty hair.
Oh my god.
I mean, I'm not complaining or anything. I don't complain about things like that. That's
I know, but my
don't
thing
complain
is,
about things like
that.
that.
There is no.
And I do have a hair lady. Her name America. Shout out to America out there in Vallejo. She know who she is.
Hey, America. Lacing her up.
She's amazing. I love her.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But if us men
oh
did
my
it,
god, my story hurt.
Like shit. And even men are doing it, and women. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm sorry.
Hey.
I mean, I don't do too much, but I do a little something.
I understand. I had a joke like that one time where a dude got married and his wife was beautiful every day, and when she died, they took all that shit off of her. They told him to come see Buddy. That nigga was like,
said, "That's not my wife."
That's not my wife.
He was like,
"Who that? Who that there?"
Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of brothers that marry women that never really seen their woman.
Damn.
She get up early.
The world is just far too stressful right now. It's just too much going on.
That's because people make it stress. Nobody don't care what you have on. If you're a beautiful woman, you can be laying in the street. A nigga help you. But if you ugly and you toe up, that nigga walk right past you and look at you. All you got to do is have a little bit of beauty. You don't even care.
I told Daniel I was gonna shave my head like his. He almost had a stroke.
Really?
Yeah,
I ain't had no damn stroke.
I would do it. It's like, wow.
You probably ain't shaved it. You just probably took that little wig off or something. After you took the wig off, you said, "Oh, well, y'all shaved." Nah, you ain't never really had no hair. I'm sorry.
Oh my god, I got cramp. I got cramp. I got a cramp. Oh my god, I got a cramp. Oh
You
man,
got gas. Stop.
I ain't got no damn gas.
All right.
That was some funny shit, man. Nah, but like, I
She don't even want to ask me no more
can't even
questions.
be serious with it. Nah. So a question. Do you hate like? Do you during your shows, right?
Uh-huh.
Do you do the DL thing where he gets on the crowd and shit and just start banging on the crowd, or do you?
Nah, nah, nah,
Okay,
not at all. I'm actually the type of person that even if you're talking, I know how to diffuse that because when people are drunk, they're not thinking in the right frame of mind, but insulting them and it can lead to something else. And I'm not there to lead to be doing disrespectful things. If you can't handle your licking and get out of line, that's what security is there for.
right. Because during the Steve Harvey, this was during the Kings of Comedy, and because the two people left out of his thing, and he was cracking on them. He was cracking on them, and they left. I'm like, why? Why do you get so offended? They just jokes. I mean,
I don't know who's getting offended. The
I
people.
mean,
Nobody pays their money to be
yeah,
insulted. Nobody
true
want to
that,
pay
true
to
that,
be
true that.
insulted. I come to see a show, make me laugh, and if you're not funny, I mean, I hear it from people all the time. If he's not funny, I don't want to sit here torture myself with somebody who's trying to be funny but it's not funny. Not saying DL is not funny, but to get on the crowd for no reason, because that's what you just said. You kind of got on the crowd for no reason. I don't think people pay to actually experience that.
I mean, because I remember on my birthday, right? We went to a TK Kirkland, uh,
Show?
Kirkland show, right? I'm trying to stutter it. We went to a show, right? And he was getting on everybody in the front seat. So what I do is I either stay in the middle or I
Oh,
either sit in the back.
scared. Did
Right.
you have your toes
Shit.
out? That's why.
All right, for the people that's listening, let me give you a strategy that most comedians can't take. When a comedian snaps on you, agree with him. Like, let's just say, for instance, he says, "Yeah, man, you got on them bullshit ass pants," and you say something like, "Yeah, you're right, they bullshit. This all I can afford right now." Do you know how you diffuse the power of a comedian like that? You just diffuse the whole anything he has to say after that is going to be not taken seriously or looked at him as being the enemy for the simple fact that he made fun of somebody that might not be fortunate enough to have another pair of pants. So the
True that.
psychological thing with that is that you bring his own joke back to him and it will make him feel stupid. And that's how you diffuse an attack of a comedian. See, I strategize a lot.
Damn, damn. Like, do you go to comedy shows too? Like,
Yeah, all
it
the
just
time.
come on. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And I
all the
analyze
time.
what's going on. I work a lot, so I don't go like, as much. But I go to shows, I watch people while they're doing their sets, and I see what they're doing wrong, and I see who has the power to change things around. It's very important that you realize that when you're on that stage, it's not about you. These people come and pay for
Right, right.
service, and you got to give them that service. There's too many people who people don't know how to control. The main thing I tell you is the ego, man. There's an ego in all of us. And until you learn how to control that, you will be a lot of fucked up situations.
Mm. Turn down the ego, right?
Good
Yeah.
advice. Yeah.
I might as well say it. Turn down the motherfucking ego, goddamn it. Turn
Gotcha.
it down, goddamn shit.
Yeah. because the ego is a entity within itself. Once you can't control that, dude, you don't even know what you're going through in life.
True
Right.
that. True that. Like that was some smooth shit. I couldn't put it together. That was some smooth shit. You know what I mean? He's smiling. He knows it's some smooth shit. You
Hey,
know
bro,
what I mean?
I learned a lot, man. I learned a lot, and I pay attention to women. See, that's the problem. When men think they know everything, nobody want to talk to you. It's just like this, right? Let's say she says something to me, and I'm right about it. If I'm right about it, what does that make her? Wrong,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
how many times can she keep saying that she's wrong if I'm right all the time? Nobody wants to be around a person that's right all the time. Nobody wants to ask a
Right.
person that's right all the time for advice. So therefore, you're barely being communicated with because you're going to always seem like you're right. And nobody wants to walk around the world feeling like they're wrong all the time. So I don't even want to talk to you no more. I can't even really have a conversation because you're going to find a way to prove that you're right and I'm wrong. And that's where things get mixed up. So sometimes your opinion is not worthy. Just shut up. Don't even if you're right, learn to shut up. It's very important.
Hmm.
The most powerful word in the dictionary is no, because you're going to always be questioned with no. You could tell your woman 1,000 times, babe, can we go? Yeah. Babe, can we go? Yeah. Babe, can I have? Yeah. Babe, can I? No.
They tell her no, and she
Exactly.
going
It's a whole nother entity, a whole nother conversation, a whole nother feeling.
a whole other person come out.
Yes. Everybody forgets the
Hmm.
yeses. They remember the no's.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's true. I'm still young. I'm 34 years old, so I'm still young. I'm still learning this shit. I ain't gonna lie.
Even
I
if you're
don't know every.
50,
I don't know
you
everything.
still can learn. 40, you still can learn.
Shit. Yeah.
That's
But it's
that's
gonna
the
take a
real
little
true
time.
meaning of age is just a number. Because if you
Right. Right.
start to see yourself as becoming old, guess what? You're going to become old. Whatever it is that you say you're going to be it. And it's so funny that people say that when it comes to bad shit. But when it comes to good shit, nobody believes it. Oh, I'm going to be a millionaire. Yeah, right. I'm going to stay broke. We know, nigga. So it's
you know.
really what you put in the universe and what you believe.
Right.
I'm very powerful on that.
Right. Very, very powerful.
And that's why
But that's
I'm going to give you a jewel. Don't ever say, I never thought. That's the first thing you said to me today when we was on a
right,
conversation.
right, right.
You said, wow, I never thought. You already put a damper into whatever it is that you might want to escalate to because of what you never thought. Make it happen. That's how you keep always talking to yourself. Yeah, I'm about to make this happen. I'm about to make this happen. And people don't realize that, I don't want to get spiritual on here, but it is. It is what it is, man. And I'm going to say this. If you a broke nigga, you wanted to be broke. There's no ifs, ands, and
Ooh.
buts about it. If you a broke person, you wanted to be broke. Because there's nothing in life guaranteed. Not good, not bad, nothing. The only thing that's guaranteed in life is you're born and you're going to die. Those are the only two. So whatever your choices is in the middle of that transition is what you make it. That's it. There's
See that?
no other way of looking at it. If you got a woman and you talking about she broke my heart, she left me, you deserve to be left. You deserve to be
Mm-hmm.
left. I can't live without him. Die. Because there's so much more to life that we keep putting ourselves in these two little ass boxes to not escalate nowhere. Everybody talking about grow up. Yeah, man, you got to grow out. Grow out. So much more. So when you saying you young, what does that mean? What do young people do at your age?
Do shit. I don't
Exactly.
know.
Yeah,
Shit.
exactly. So your
I don't
age don't
know.
mean shit. That's my purpose of saying that. Just because I'm only 35, I don't know shit. I'm still learning. Bruh, learn forever. But make sure when you learn, you be
Right.
accountable for
Right.
the things that you're learning. It's very important that you
Right.
understand that. Never grow up, grow out.
Right, right. Never grow up, grow out. All right, I got that. I got that. I got that. See. I done learned some Jews. You know what I'm saying? The picked up the Jews, put it in my pocket. There. You know what I'm saying? I got it. I got it. I got the Jews. I got them. I got them.
Yeah.
I got it. I got it. You know what I'm saying? That feel good. Feel good. I feel you. I feel you. But yo, I wanna put this. I wanna talk about this. The segment that we bringing out. We
Okay.
bringing out. It's called the comedic showdown,
All
right?
right.
Where all the comedians that have come on the show will be able to come on the show, and it's going to be like a roast session
Right.
where it's going to be they're going to be bombing on each other.
Right.
Any jokes, no jokes is off limits, right?
Right.
Whoever wins out of y'all, out of all the people that have won, get to be the champion for another episode.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
We're still working on the
And
prize.
So when are y'all trying to do this? Because I want to watch. Because you're not going to get me to go against comedians. Not that I'm all that, but that's all you making me out to seem like I am.
Oh, 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 oh.
Mm. So
I
let me know when
mean,
it comes
see,
out and y'all get it together. Because I would like to see how they do. But nah, you can't push my buttons to make me go in like that. And I'm not a tough sport, but it makes no sense for me to go in there. So I worked my whole career, do 30 years in this business, and then somebody that did it 5 days or a year and come up and roast me and tear me up, and that'll be the talk of the town. Damn, Capone let this nigga do that. Nah, bro, you're not gonna put me in that.
You ain't
nah,
slick.
I wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying?
You
We'll
ain't
be like, we'll be
slick.
like, we'll save him, just save him. We ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? He wanna watch. He wanna watch. He be champion. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
You know, I mean, shit. Look. We gonna have some heavy hitters. So you bring on some heavy hitters, we'll have them on, and
I'm
we'll interview
gonna
them.
watch.
You know what
I
I'm
would
saying?
love to see that, and I want you to be successful with it, but I won't participate in
I mean,
it.
hey,
I like her
how about
laugh.
this? How about 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 you be the judge? You be a judge with
No,
us.
uh.
Come on, man. Oh,
Uh-uh.
come on.
Uh-uh. See, you don't realize how deep I am. What do my word have to do with anybody that is trying to win something that you're giving? Just like, and this might sound stupid to you, and it might sound stupid to your audience, but the worst thing that we do is become judges of somebody that might be trying to do
Right.
something different in their life. Just like we don't know if you killed somebody or you're innocent, but there's a judge that's going to say, well, we're going to send you to jail because we think you're a certain way. So for me, it becomes a lot different than what you're saying. Those words are very powerful, very
True
powerful.
that. True that. True
So
that.
you
True
got to
that.
contest, you got to contest with people that are trying to prove something to who?
No, we just having fun.
Yeah, we're having fun. That's what you're saying to it. But you're not looking at the demographics of all the shit that you're doing. Why not put a comedy show together and, call it In Your Face show, and then have the comedians come up there and perform some new guys that might be looking for recognition, that you have the ability because you got a platform to put them out there instead of making people go against each other. Just a thought. That's all.
You slick. You slick. You
Uh-oh.
slick. You
Don't,
slick.
don't
You
stop.
slick.
Don't stop.
You slick. I know. I see so. Someone's
All
like,
right. Okay.
you
I
try.
have
You
a
slick. You
question.
slick.
This is a good question.
You
So
slick. I
outside of
got it. I
comedy,
got it. I got it.
Huh?
I got it.
what else do you want us to know about you? Are you also an author, writer? What else would you like our audience to know about you?
Yes, I have a new book out called Snapback Journal. And I usually have it with me here in my office, but I'm doing the show, so they packed up. Snapback Journal is, and I hope y'all take this very seriously. You don't have to buy my journal, but if you do, just know that my journal is designed for you to become successful. And what I mean by that
Okay.
is
Okay.
people who are successful Do you know the number one thing that they all do?
Stay up late, very
Do you
late.
know what they all do?
No, they all talk to right. They all
They
right.
write. They all write. They
They all
don't
right.
use phones. They use a pen and a pad. Every successful person that you know use a pen and a pad, and they go over their notes. There's so much shit going on in your phone that you're bound to miss and
Mhm.
miscommunicate what you're trying to do. So I created a book to make you remind you of the things that you desire, the things that you manifest, and the things that you want. And you can always look it over, because a book is something that people read to get knowledge. Just imagine if you wrote your own story. And that's what I created. I created a way for you to write your destiny of what you want to do. Every person, I don't give a fuck who they are, that is successful, you will always see them pull out a pad and write a notation in it. I still do it to this day, and that's what keeps me going. So I created a book for people to have their own private thoughts, their own private things. And like I said, you don't have to buy mine. Just get you a journal. Success is something that is repeated. It's always
Right,
repeated. Once you start to repeat it, you start to believe it, you start to see it, and the next thing you know, it happens.
Right.
It happens. And so that's one thing that I want people to know about me. If you don't know anything else, I am very, very hard on our culture. And I would love for all of us to be successful, but unfortunately, we know that's not going to happen. But if we have more things to challenge our mental, then it would help us as a culture a lot. Because even Jewish people, they're so strong because they write. They write and
right.
read. The strongest cultures, you learn about them.
Right.
So I have a question, right?
All right.
Question.
I ain't never did an intro for a whole hour and change, but go ahead.
Right. What else do you need to
I
know?
mean, look, hey, it's not my fault. Not my fault. Hey,
You
look,
can come
hey,
back.
whatever you
I'm
got.
Go ahead. I will let you ask the question.
I'm just kidding.
Just one last question. One last question.
All right.
What was the biggest check you made for your? What's the biggest check you ever made doing comedy?
What is the biggest what?
Check
Check.
that you ever
Money
that you ever
wise?
got doing comedy? Yeah,
Oh, you will never know
doing
that.
comedy.
You will never know that.
Well, damn. I mean, shit. I want to know.
you
I'm nosy. You know, what I mean?
you'll
We all
never know
nosy.
that. That's like me asking you what they pay you on your job. No, you ain't gonna tell me that.
Yeah, true that. True that. Yeah, true that. True
Yeah.
that. True that.
All
Nah,
right.
nah, nah. True that. True
Find a
that. I
different
can't.
Okay,
way.
well, I'll
Nah.
ask this. This is a better question. I mean, not a
Right.
better. It's just a different question.
Well,
Right.
damn, y'all just
What
want to just
is
sideline me.
what is the first thing that you purchased, right? After you realized, oh, okay,
Okay, what? Finish the question.
look what I have.
Yeah, finish
Here's
the
the
question.
check.
Huh?
BDB, finish
I
the
was just
question.
piggybacking off of his check question. So I don't want to know how much it was, but just what were you able to buy that you were not able to once you started seeing those checks?
All right. Let me put it to you so both I can answer both of y'all questions at the same time. And I want y'all to understand this. In the streets, at 24 years old, I was a millionaire. By the time I turned 27, I was broke. Between courts and everything else that took me, I was broke. So
Damn.
by the time I was 2 years in comedy, I had 10 houses. 10 cars, some couple of houses, and that was strictly comedy. I had no money from the streets. So what I'm trying to tell you in success is I wrote down what I wanted. Didn't know how I was going to get it, but I knew I was going to get it. And when you want something that bad, you don't realize how much you focused on getting that. And the problem is that, and this is going to go over a lot of people's heads, everything that you want in life is already there for you to get. But once you doubt that you're going to get it, they're going to go with that too. Because the universe and also the will, the point to will. You cannot confuse your point to will. If you want to do something and you know how bad you want to do it, I mean, look at what we're doing right now. How many times did you hit me up before this interview started? And I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know you from a hole in the wall. Didn't know nothing about your show. But what drove me to you and what I respected about you is your will to get me. You said right away, man, I you know, and I said, man, damn, I respect the, you know, your thing. You said, man, I'm just determined. I'm just determined to interview you. And look, we're on the interview. I ain't never been on no interview, no hour and change. But the vibe is so strong, and I want to give you so much that you can take back, not only for you, give it out. Don't grow it up, grow it out. Because once we
Throw it
start
out.
to grow it out, now you understand what I'm talking about. It's a
Right.
different thing. So for me to say to answer your true question, sister, I could have it all, and somehow it could be taken away from me. But I take nothing for granted. What you can't take from me is my will to keep going, because we win and we lose some. And that's what you have to understand. That is what we call this thing called life. There's no guarantee that a house can burn down. I could die tomorrow. So there's no guarantee that this is going to, you know, last. But at the same time, while I'm here, I will continue to strive and continue to teach.
That was smooth shit. I'll say it again. That was smooth shit. Yeah, that was. I couldn't even say it. Goddamn it. I'm like, damn. I say some smooth shit. That's shit.
That's what it's about.
Smooth as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Smooth as man Jenkins. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I be scratching my beard all up that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel good. You know.
Now, I'm gonna just give you an example, and this is a real example. I've done thousands of interviews. You told me only one thing that you researched about me. One. The rest of them were off the head. And because I'm so straightforward and being honest with you, this actually was a successful interview. But you didn't have your questions prepared.
Yeah, I didn't.
Exactly. Now, my point that I'm making is the more you get into this business and the more you strive to become successful, think about how this interview would have been if you'd have had everything written down. It would have been a different interview. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Even though it was
I
good.
agree.
But preparation as what you need to do in order to keep moving, striving with what you're doing is something that's very important. Because technically, we're just guys talking on the internet right now. Guys and young ladies, no disrespect, but that's what we are.
I'm a woman. Sorry.
No, you know, I'm just speaking in general. She said, I'm a woman.
Damn, this is my time to get joked on tonight, huh? God.
No.
See, you know what I'm saying? I told a lot of people, man, I said, this is a big show, man. And someone was like, just be yourself.
Right. And I
Come with
appreciate that.
everything you
That's
got.
why it went well. But if you were prepared, it would have been a lot different.
Yeah, it would have been a lot different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I was like, you know, it's a lot of questions that I could have put down. I'm like, but I just wanted to come organic. I was just like, fuck
No,
it. Just
and you
come
can
on with it.
still do that. The questions are your questions. And your
Right,
questions.
but
But
right,
let's keep it 100 right here. 10 minutes of them was let me see. Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah.
True that, true that, true that.
I got something. It's coming.
True that. Yeah, yeah. I mean, because you know, I normally the questions normally come out clear and
Right.
come out right, and then I rushed. But I just had to have this interview. I had to just come out with it. Yeah, I was just being
And
honest.
that's
I ain't
good.
gonna
I'm
lie.
okay with that. But if I don't tell you what I see, I wouldn't be me.
True that. True
Yeah.
that. That's very understandable. Very
He got the
understandable.
smile at the
'Cause
end, like
Yeah, because he's slick. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, like,
Well, I thank
yeah, I'm
y'all.
like, oh, yeah, I'm
Do we
watching.
have
I'm
any more
like,
questions? And
We don't have any more
I will
questions,
definitely
Daniel.
come back
Let's
on y'all
wrap
show
it
because
up.
I know we're gonna get some feedback from this.
of course we is. Yes, we is. Somebody gonna say something. They
Yeah.
were like, oh, so why you ain't ask them the right question? Damn.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? What? I know somebody's gonna say something.
Somebody
Yeah,
trying to
no.
get me to do a show now.
Oh, um, let me take us out. You know what I'm saying? Let me take us out. Take us out. I had a good time. Thank y'all for watching. It's been well, and you've seen it. You heard it all from the legend, the man, the gangster of comedy, Mr. Capone.
Thank you.
Yes.
Don't say it all smooth.
Yeah.
Say it all smooth.
Yeah.
I just want to
I
say
You're like,
have
thank
thank
to
you.
put that in there. Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for having me on your show. I appreciate it. I take nothing for granted. Um, Also, if anybody want to follow me, go to Comedian Capone on Instagram. I do my own show called Catback, where we give the opportunity of Black people in business to share their businesses. And that's what I use my forum for. Also, we talk about real life things. I do it on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and we do this thing called Freaky Friday, where adults become adults. And it's a real good show. So we do it at 8 o'clock. Comedian Capone. Thank y'all for letting me do my thing. And until next time, man, I'll see y'all soon.
Oh, we would like to have you on for the 100th episode.
Right. Long as I ain't battling nobody, we can make it happen.
No, 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 no. You ain't
Uh,
battling nobody.
are you going to make sure he write the questions down?
I'm trying. It's sliding off that head. I
Nah,
keep saying it
you
just
got to
keeps
put your foot down.
sliding off.
He listens to you.
We
Trust me,
we
he
running out
listens.
of grease on Vaseline over here. It keeps
Yeah, I got you.
sliding off.
I got
The beady beads.
you.
Beady beads.
Well, thank y'all. And until next time,
All right.
see y'all later.
And it's been an in your face show. And we out. Peace.
Thank you. Peace.